Welcome to Drew's Baseball Crew here on this Tuesday morning. It is episode 9, and you could also be listening to this Monday night when it releases. So let's go through it here, the slate on this Tuesday. And again, Phantasia Sports is where we are, and you got to join the app. Listen to this. Season-long fantasy football is out, yes. And I do have a league. If you want to join, reach out to me on social media at either the podcast, at Drew Sports Crew, on that's the Instagram, the Twitter, or you can reach out to me at Drew Skyberg, of course, as well. Or on Twitter, it's at Drew_Skyberg. So going through it, though, Phantasia has the football now, the season-long fantasy football, I should add. And look, the 10-team league that I have, it is a $5 entry fee. It is standard, no PPR. We're going to change it up a little bit here. And, yeah, I recommend joining it. Look, the app is great. And this launching of the season-long fantasy football it just means a lot here for Phantasia Sports. They already have the daily fantasy sports aspect. And, look, it's just another way to grow. And really happy for what's going on at Phantasia Sports. So let's go here, though, to their lineup, right? We're going to do our free entry contest, as always. We're going to win that native Phant token as well, because you can stake it, earn excellent rewards. And let's go through it. So looking at the slate, right? I mean, we got some aces pitching. We have a little bit of everything here in this Tuesday slate. So going through it, let's start with our starting pitcher report. As always, right, you start 2 pitchers here on Phantasia, so keep that in mind. Going through it, big one that stands out, Shane McClanahan is pitching, and, you love to see that, and he unfortunately is not available right now, however, on Phantasia, so hopefully he is available soon, or I'm not sure here, but the good news is some players who are. Spencer Strider, of course, is a guy who I'm looking at right away when he's pitching. There's some concerns with him, right, as he was a reliever to start the year, but Spencer Strider has done Spencer Strider things. He's been fantastic, and, he only has 8 career plate appearances against the current Philadelphia Phillies roster, but an XBA of 111, and it's just, he's been phenomenal. XWOBA 173. I'm chasing upside, and I'm going to take him. So I'm going to kind of take my high ceiling guy, and then I want a guy with a safe floor, usually is how I like to roll with this. So we'll go through some of the guys who might have a safe floor. One that, could, Jordan Montgomery, I'm not sure what we'll get out of him, but he's had pretty good numbers against this current New York Mets roster, an XBA of 206. But I probably wouldn't lean that. And going through other ones, Aaron Nola seems to always be very safe. Like he will give you 7+ innings. He's kind of another version of Sandy Alcantara, I'd say, in terms of being that workhorse. To keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna probably be going with Pablo Lopez is one who I'd keep in mind there. But I will be leaning towards a guy like Frankie Montas is who I'm going to be going with. I know he's pitching against the Astros, and I know that might not sound the most appealing matchup, but I really like Frankie Montas this year. He's playing to get traded. If I really want to word it like that, I really confident with how he's going to perform, and I'm going to take him there for 8,300. Hopefully it pans out. So that wraps up really the pitcher report. Luis Garcia is another guy. Jose Barrios, if you're chasing, right? I mean, Jose Barrios actually might be a great play here, right? No Nolan Arenado, no Paul Goldschmidt in Toronto, so keep that in mind. But I'm going to be going with the 2 pitchers I mentioned with, but I would also be fine with going with those other guys who I've mentioned. But let's go. Let's talk some hitters here. So, I hate sounding like a broken record, but again, like I mentioned, the lineup right now for the St. Louis Cardinals is going to be, it seems right now, without Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. So I am looking at Corey Dickerson, from the St. Louis Cardinals. They are against Jose Barrios, and just overall, I think that's a great matchup there for Dickerson against Jose Barrios. So, pulling up the numbers here for his career, and yeah, he does not disappoint against Barrios with a career average of 455. And look, I'm taking Corey Dickerson there. Insert him as one of my outfielders, but let's go back to catcher, right? Let's look at our catching options here. And, I will be at the Brewer game Tuesday night, so I'm looking at Omar Narvaez against Dylan Bundy for his career, and I'm liking that matchup. He's had great success with an average of 300, OPS of 964 for his career. I'm in on that for 3,200. I will take that. 4,600 is the average budget we have left available, and that is going to be very important. Looking at the first baseman now. So, some of the bigger numbers here. Joey Votto against Pablo Lopez. 667 average. Rowdy Tellez too, if you want to take him. Maybe a little stack there against Dylan Bundy as well. But I think I will be going with Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds. So I'll be adding him here for 3,900. Welcome to the team, Joey Votto. And let's go to second base. So for this position, there's some interesting ones here, ways I could go. And the other, thinking, right, I could potentially take another Cardinal here with Brendan Donovan being on the team again, and he's going to be playing up in the lineup. And for 2,700, you can't go wrong with that. So I'll be adding Brendan Donovan to the team, and look for his career. I know it's small sample size, but he's 2 for 3 against Barrios in his career, and gotta like that. So going to third base now, looking at these numbers. Austin Riley has actually done very well against Aaron Nola for his career. He's got 3 home runs and 35 plate appearances against him. And Austin Riley, if you want to pay up for a guy there, I'll give some other sleepers for this position, right? Wilmer Flores against Tyler Gilbert, a lefty from the Diamondbacks. He's batting a career 500. Some other ones with smaller sample sizes. I like Brian Hayes, and quite frankly, he's always cheap on sites, and he's 5,000 here, which might seem a lot, but compared to some of the other guys, he's one I'd be looking at. But I'm going Austin Riley for 5,400. Pay up there, get my guy, and let's go to shortstop now. And looking at this position, there's a lot of them here. Trey Turner against Josiah Gray. I do like that matchup for Turner, and of course, the daily fantasy always has the speed upside as well. Some other ones, Cory Seeger against George Kirby's a matchup I favor. And Ethan Small is pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers, and with that, I guess, we don't really have career numbers, but a lefty, if you want to favor some of those righties in that lineup for the Minnesota Twins, right? Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, just to name, go for some of the stars there in that lineup. But it's going to be interesting how they construct that lineup. We're not really sure. And, I'm thinking Gio Urshela might be another guy to take. And then Kyle Garlick in the bottom lineup. And even Jose Miranda, who had that big home run off Hader last week. And, that would have been a week and a half ago already, actually. And looking at some other shortstops, though, J.P. Crawford against Dane Dunning. I guess that matchup, too, would be maybe another one I would lean towards. But I'm going to go with Cory Seeger here. I like what Seeger's been doing. He's been on a power surge this year, and that enough is going to make me take Cory Seeger here. For outfielders, looking at Randy Arozarena against Spencer Watkins. 625 for his career off of him, and It's just a great matchup. I'm looking to take that one. A.J. Pollock off of Herman Marquez, 409 average there. OPS over 1,000 there as well. Ronald Acuna Jr. also has great numbers off of Aaron Nola, 379 average there. OPS over 1,200. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Ronald Acuna, so I'm adding him right now to the team, and then Randy Rosareno is my other one. So, that'd be kind of how I'd go about this one here, and I'm looking through other ones. I know I mentioned Corey Dickerson already. Cedric Mullins has actually great numbers off of Shane McClanahan if you really want to be brave and take someone against him. Other ones, I mean, I mentioned if you want to go like budget, right? I mean, if we're talking, you want to go about that. If you want to go, right, we mentioned Ethan Small already. Kyle Garlick was the one I mentioned who came to my mind. And then other ones, going through it, like Chaz McCormick could be one, as I believe I mentioned. And, Cole Calhoun, he seems to always be on the bottom of the lineup for the Texas Rangers, another guy. And I want to throw Darren Ruff. I know he's first baseman here, but he's against the lefty, and I always like to throw him in there as a sleeper. And, Keibert Ruiz has performed well, and he's going up against the righty, Mitch White, and like that matchup for him. And Luis Garcia out of the leadoff spot there for the Nationals as well. So, my lineup I am submitting here, and I will have this up on social media as well. So, if you want to check out my lineup and tail along with me, maybe go a little different, and good luck. So, thank you all for listening to another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.